So that brings a massive hole in our offensive line. One player that was absolutely outstanding all last year is now out for the season because he has a massive injury to his patellar tendon. That is awful, awful news for us Chargers fans. So let's get into that. Let's talk about that a little bit. And because the burning question in my mind is really, honestly, unfortunately, yes, we have to take a moment to say our prayers to Rashawn Slater and his family, because this could be a really bad injury for him and his career entirely. But unfortunately, the season moves on, and we have to think about who comes up, who steps up next. So without getting too much into it, let's just start talking about this, and let's just hit that button, guys. So Bolt Bros, let's go.
What's up, Premier, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Yes. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I was going to actually just do a Twitch stream tonight for the preseason games or whatever, but I got home late and I was already like a halftime by the time I got home. And then, of course, this news happened. So I was like, all right, I cannot just go. I can't go tonight without having a video on YouTube about specifically Chargers content, which, by the way, guys, I don't really know if you guys really want me to do that kind of thing with Twitch and do a watch party, whatever. Let me know in the chat if you'd like that, because I do really want to see if I can actually make, the game up, and then we have the watching it there, whatever, on Twitch, whatever. I may just do it only for Chargers games, just because that's more of our thing anyway. So just let me know. Like, I think I may just keep it exclusive to that, unless I'm at the game, of course, So yeah. Anyhow, yes. So thank you guys for coming to the chat here. We got Rob the Sneak. Chargers are cooked. Shaking my dang head. F my life, for reals though, right? Anyone even know what happened? Yes, Roland, I'll get into that a little bit. Yes, I will. I did see what happened. Players fell on Slater's leg during training camp. So sad for the season. Hey, what's up, my man? How you doing, George? AC, can we get any unluckier? Well, that is yet to be told, yet to be untold there, The Keenan sighting brought back the curse. Nah, no, I wouldn't say that one. I don't think he's the curse for us, so yeah. Tay Jackson, we wasn't win games, the Super Bowl this year, so why we so down right now? We just have to adapt. Come on. That's right. No, that's fact. That's facts. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't in the Super Bowl yet, so we're just down, though, because obviously it's a tough blow to the Chargers. So, like I said, guys, thank you guys for joining the chat. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe to the video if you do enjoy the content and this discussion that we're about to have tonight, So, but I do have some thoughts here, So, but AC, yeah, AC is correct. My brother was actually there at camp when it happened. James was, and he sent us pictures and things like that right as it happened. Yeah, the video shows no one fell on his leg. What happened was he was just getting pushed back, whatever that, maybe just took a couple of missteps, and just, he was backpedaling, and that just was one too many or something like that. And it just, probably popped his knee or whatever like that. And my brother told me right away that, when he was carted off the field, he slammed his helmet on the ground or whatever that, threw it, whatever. So us bros, we knew right away it was a very serious injury for sure. We had some suspicions, because we had some people that were, talking to his family that was in the stands, that was in the audience and stuff like that, and so they knew that it was bad, and they got word pretty fast too. We suspected a ACL tear, but of course it was confirmed later that it was a patellar tendon tear, which could be even worse by far of an injury. So we're all just like hoping that it's not something more serious, that he's going to end his that would end his career in some way. Like that would be so terrible if that did happen. So but gosh, I can't really. I don't want to speculate. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a professional in that regard to say how much of an injury that is or whatever that. But I can obviously suspect, that I do believe it is worse than an ACL or MCL even too. So this is because that's a bigger tendon than either one of those two. So, but we're all crushed here. That's right, Jay say we're all crushed, and that's not a good thing. However, like just let me just get some things out of the way first. It's kind of it really does suck in a lot of ways too as a fan, because we're all rooting for him on the sidelines to get this deal done after his divorce and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he gets this deal signed, everything's all squared away. We're good to go right before like the season starts by a couple months. He can get some good practice in, signs this big old fat contract, $114 million extension, highest paid offensive lineman of the time right now. And then boom, freaking Thursday runs around and bam, he's out for the season like that, So this the biggest question is, guys. Look, the season hasn't even started yet, and already us Chargers fans are already losing a little bit of hope about the playoffs. I feel like, it's like, but we, I think at the same time, we'll be okay. I think we're gonna be okay, and like we'll get into why in just a little bit here, So, this really does mean that we may plan on going out for possibly a free agent, to pick up the slack a little bit for left tackle. It could, we actually had 2 injuries on the offensive line, I think, didn't we today? It's crazy. But I just don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the chat, like about what happens here. You guys are already top piling in saying that, so this sucks, but we're not about to pout like little babies and yell that the sky's falling. Herbert and Jim Harbaugh has shown that they can ADA. They can adapt. Yes, they 100% can, and I do think that is a very great insight that we should actually take into this consideration. Because like, look, at the end of the day, we have good players behind every single player. These days we do. So I'm not 100% worried about our depth and stuff like that, So, and I really like what you're saying here, Tay. 100%, man. Like, thank goodness we got the people that we have behind us, So, Fresh Prince says it's a mild tear, may heal within 6 to 8 weeks with rest, ice, compression, physical therapy, yada yada. Moderate tears can take 3 to 6 months to heal with immobilization, physical therapy, and popsicle surgery. And I do think this is probably more of a moderate tear. It's a bigger tear than an ACL, MCL, So it's just super unfortunate, this reminds me a lot of the 2022 season as well, though, when Jamaree Salyer stepped in for Rashawn Slater, So, and I'll get more into that one in a little bit later, So, AC says, thank God we got Alt. At least we've got Justin's back covered. Yes, for sure. Fresh Prince adds severe tears may require surgery and can take up to a year or more to fully recover. So, but we'll know more about the details about this tear later. Like we don't know necessarily how severe this is, but we'll find out. We'll certainly find out. Like, I think if anything, it's a the middle one, moderate tear, at least, which is basically the whole season. So, but if it's a severe one, that could be more than anything. So, yeah. So say Hernandez is a guard and signed with the Cardinals today. So I guess we're not going for Hernandez. So that's out of the question there. Time to draft another tackle next year. Well, maybe, you never know. Alta's injury prone too. Oof, that's not good to hear. Yeah. That's the timeline for torn patellar tendons. Okay. Thank you, Fresh Prince, for that clarity. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Miguel? How you doing? Hey, man, you're late. You're late to the party. Mike Gee moves Slater to guard. Maybe that could be a good idea. Crispy says, I reserve the right to pout like a baby. Yeah, man. You have that right. You have that right. But look, man, there's no sense in pouting just yet. Season hadn't even started yet. And, yes, this is a massive blow to the Chargers fans and our season potentially, but I do believe that we actually have, there's still hope for the season. So we can actually make this thing work, but we just need to hang on there and hold up, back it up a little bit, and just regroup for a second because we got some players like that we can talk about, So, yeah. Yes. My fear is when he recovers, will he be the same? I imagine that's what you want to kind of continue it on. Yes. Yeah. Chargers are cooked. Come on now, guys. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Anyway, but yeah. So let me get into some thoughts. Hey, Crazy K, we're gonna be all good, bro. Just like you said. We just got some good backup. Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. MH2 says he's worth the money. Let's stay off the field 26 seasons. Yeah, 26 till the 2026 season. Don't risk him. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Roland is jumping into the topic that I really wanted to focus on today. So, so that's kind of what I want to get into. So thank you for the segue here, Roland. So let me just kind of dive into this thing, So let's just hit this little button. Yes. Okay. So let's switch it up. So Roland believes the best idea it would be for us to move Joe Alt to left tackle, Salyer or Pipkins to right tackle until Ortiz finds a viable replacement. Okay. So this is a really interesting thought. So the biggest thing, the sentiment online right now is that we do move Joe Alt to the left tackle instantly, and move Joe Alt to left tackle and Pipkins up to right tackle, so that would be instantly the gut reaction that we want to do this stuff. So Grandizer doesn't want me to start yet, but I'm sorry, I'm already in the middle of it. Yeah. So just think about that, so like as he was the number 5th overall pick in 2024, he had his whole college career was left tackle at Notre Dame. He was a first-team All-American, and he had a awesome rookie performance at right tackle, of course. So started pretty much the entire game. He had only allowed 19 pressures and 515 pass blocking snaps. So, and he was on the PFWA All-Rookie team. But he doesn't have much. He has had one game essentially at left tackle. And at that position, time last year, he only allowed 41. He had 41 snaps, and he allowed 0 pressures in the entire game. And of course, that was Week 18 against the Raiders. So you gotta kind of want to take that with a grain of salt because the Raiders were completely out of the playoff run. They had nothing to play for. So you kind of want to think, I was like, okay, did they really have their heart in the game? Did they really think that they would do something with their season at that point? Did they really want to rush and do stuff? I'm sure those players just wanted to let the season go and all that stuff. So I don't know. I can't really say that, but that's just my opinion on it. So. But stats are stats. So on paper, he was amazing at left tackle. At least one game in the season. He was amazing at right tackle the entire season, though, for sure. So, the biggest thing, too, is we all know that he has the athleticism for that position. He has he's super tall, obviously. He has awesome pass blocking ability. But the biggest thing, too, is what fits Harbaugh's scheme even more is the fact that he's a good run blocker. So, that's kind of the idea. But I do have some concerns about him moving to left tackle as well. The adjustment from right tackle to left tackle does disrupt our right tackle stability. Sure. The biggest thing is Pipkins, we have a good, not great backup behind Joe Alt. And so we know that he's a serviceable right tackle. But we just don't know if that's going to be more a better position for Joe Alt as opposed to keeping Pipkins as his backup. So that's kind of my thought, but obviously a lot of people obviously out there 100% say Joe Alt should go to left tackle instantly right away and move Pipkins in. And I tend to agree with them in one regard because I do think that is the correct money move right now, because of how much money we're paying Joe Alt currently on his rookie contract. And then Pipkins, we're actually paying quite a lot of money as well. Sorry about that. Paying Pipkins a lot of money as well still. So that would be probably the right money move. And we will say this, though, too. James, while he was at camp, did report that instantly when they had to continue practice, that Joe Alt did move to left tackle and Pipkins was at right tackle. That was what happened today. But we also can note that people spamming the chat with that. Should I block that guy? Jeez, I don't care. Whatever. You guys just talk to him. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna ban him. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's just too much. Yep. Lost too much blood and is dead. Rip. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on timeout there, man. Hey, yeah. Hang on a sec here. You gotta chill out, man. You gotta chill out here. Where the heck's the button? Where is it at? Put user in timeout. There you go. All right, guys. Jeez, just keep spamming that stuff. So, all right, there you go. Okay, so I was gonna say too, earlier in training camp, so Joe Alt was also training at left tackle for most of the season as well. So, that does mean that he does have the ability to step into that role right away. So we could see that happening, since Slater was in the kind of on the cusp of things, trying to get his deal secured and stuff like that, so Joe Alt has been doing left tackle reps for a lot of training camp already. So he could be gearing up already to do that, so, but yeah, let me see. I'm going to read through your comments on this now that I put that guy on timeout or whatever. So yeah. Grandizer popped up a question here, or wonder if the Chargers can maybe lure recently retired Taron Armstead to play left tackle, a part-time player that has one more good year in him, or if not two. See, that's a good thought. I've been thinking about that too. So we might want to pull in a free agent from retirement or stuff like that. So that could be amazing if that actually happens. So we could pull potentially some other left tackle from somewhere else. Maybe they would want to play. Maybe not. You never know. So it's possible that Chef Ortiz could make that happen while we have some players in place in the interim, and maybe work in the background and stuff like that. So yeah, that's very possible. Okay, but let's see. Ambassador says must quickly integrate these changes during the remaining preseason with the season opener set for September 5th in Brazil. They have a tight window to ensure the revamped line gets gels before. Yeah, 100%. We can't sleep on this kind of stuff. And so that's kind of why I'm thinking that maybe that's possible why Joe Alt should go to left tackle and Pipkins go to right tackle instantly, just okay, make that happen, but I do have an argument against that as well. So Chris B says we need to put Joe Alt in the magical doubler machine. Then we have two Joe Alts for one each side. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's do it. I like that. No, we don't have good players behind every single player. We have crap players behind most of the offensive line. Well, I tend to disagree. I think we have some pretty good players behind them. So that's kind of what I want to say. Yeah. So. I want to spam the chat now with questions. This makes when Andrew and James don't tell me questions like you. You are the man of the people. Yes, sir. I try to, and if they don't get to them, because they just kind of ramble on, they just flap their gums a lot, so I jump in and, I'll answer people in the chat as best as I can, so yeah. But so I'm sorry that they don't do that, don't recognize it sometimes, but I'm here for you, Grandizer. You know what's up. Yeah, but we have a huge cap number attached to injury prone player. Yeah, exactly. And that's a big problem too. Ipodicus. I like that. That's pretty dope. Good name, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad. This is pretty bad though. Yeah. But yeah, the dead cap is going to be a big thing, though. So yeah, Timmy said they don't go out and get good offensive linemen other than the one guy that gets injured. We're looking the same offensive line. Yeah, we're going to get Rick Roll. That's for sure. James up in the chat. What's up, my mate, my brother? All right. You know I'm in talk studio if you want to jump in, just to say what's up, The good thing is we're still a month out from the first game. I'm expecting a move soon, so hopefully upgrade the right tackle or left tackle to mesh with this line for sure. Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. So we and that's kind of what we're going to focus on tonight. Like I kind of wanted to make this a quick one. Obviously, because this is big, massive news and stuff like that, so we can't sleep on this one tonight for sure. So, anyhow, but yeah, we got to figure out something quick. And like I said, I think the immediate answer to that is moving Joe Alt to left and Pipkins up to right. And it's because that's kind of what they've been doing in camp. And so, while there was his contract was in flux, so yeah. We're looking at Joel at left tackle, Pipkins at right tackle, Zion Johnson left guard, Bradley Bozeman center. Herbert is going to get his booty handed to him, and they'll run game is if I don't know, man. Look, I'm not going to say that that's possible. I'm not going to say that that's going to be the end all be all because I don't really think so. Yeah. Pure Mustard said file a grievance against class action lawsuit. Let's do it right now against Slater. It was planned. Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, we're good. What I was told is that Taron Armstead is helping out the Dolphins training camp like an unofficial assistant only coach. Hey, that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, but Barry. Barry Otis does say same old, that's for sure. That's Chargers. This is Chargers football, guys. This is Chargers football. Yeah. Yeah. Andrew and me are the winners for best yappers with Dayan Henley. That's funny. Wait, what do you mean? What does that mean, bro? What do you mean? Yeah. So yeah. Ambassador Light does say that the shift will be that we take quicker passes, shift to more slants, quick routes, and timing routes, so Herbert isn't holding the ball for 3+ seconds. Yeah, and that's been something that he needs to be doing the entire time. I do feel like he, on average, holds the ball for a little bit too long, and I think that's something that he really does need to work on. So, that's just it. Larry, my man. Okay, here you go.
Oh, you gotta give him that hook and spit on that thing.
Yeah, all right. So, and with that, let's move on to the next subject. So, I wanted to actually take a moment to now. Oh, Pappy, what's up, my Pappy? How are you? I didn't see you. Did you make a comment, Pappy? I'm sorry if I missed it or whatever, but yeah. But I wanted to move on to my next topic, though. So because some of you guys are saying it in the chat, but Timmy is correct. We got Jamari Salyer, guys. Hey, don't forget we got Jamari Salyer as a swing tackle, swing guard, and let's not forget that he was the 2022 6th-round draft pick, and he was he had first-round potential, even second-round potential, and he was expected and slated to get picked up in the first and second round of the 2022 draft, but he fell to the 6th-round draft pick. And he had apparently get this, guys. In 2022, he had during his college years, he had 20 starts at left tackle for Georgia, and the 2021 national championship game. In college, he had the lowest pressure rate of among all college tackles in those years. So, and then of course his 2022 start was the same time that Rashawn Slater had his torn pectoral muscle, something like that, So he had 14 starts at left tackle. Not pectoral, bicep injury. And in one of those games, he had a 90.4 PFF pass blocking grade versus Houston in week 4, which 0 pressures in those key games. So I think he actually gave up his first sack after like the week 8 or something like that, So he's not no slouch, guys. He's very versatile. He's very experienced in the NFL. He has 1,045 career snaps at left tackle already built in. He has all that ability right there. Just all that experience. We're good to go. And he already could show Justin Herbert the security that he gives to them as well, So, and not only that, yes, he's been all up and down the line. He's at right guard as well, from 2023 to 2024 last season, which was 32% of the snaps. So like 1 out of 3 times he was out there on the field. So you got, for me, I feel like that is a better move to be like, okay, let's just, because do you really want Pipkins back at right tackle, who's not been that great over the years there? And sure, like he's suffered a lot of injuries too. He's worked through a lot of injuries as well. But I do understand that the right tackle is a less vulnerable position for the quarterback, of course, but the left tackle is so important that you might want somebody with experience to be on that side. And so that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, look, let's just not shake a stick at that. Let's not be worried that we want, that we're going to immediately move Joe Alt from right tackle to left tackle. Like, it's just, Salyer already has the experience at left tackle against pro level players, it's like Joe Alt does not have experience with pro level players at right tackle, or at left tackle, that is, so you're playing against a whole different animal of edge rushers on the left versus the right, so this is what I'm saying. It's like Salyer is proven, in their left tackle. He's physical. He's basically a bowling ball in that spot, and he's really does, and that kind of suits Jim Harbaugh's what he wants. He wants these big, freaking butt and guts. He wants those big old boys up front. And this would feel like going back home to him. He had a whole year, over 1,000 snaps at left tackle. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. So. But I do admit, though, like, my biggest concern with him, of course, that he has been a guard for most of the last couple of years and stuff like that. It's like, and there's, I guess at the same side, like, he does have, more guard experience. Maybe there's an attitude issue or whatever. Maybe he's a little bit undersized compared to Slater or whatever. But the strategy behind this, though, is this, though, that it allows Alt to stay at right tackle, to keep that consistency, because he did amazing there. Let's just keep moving that keep that going forward, and that would just preserve his development in that duo there. Because with Slater's expecting to return in 2026, what do you do, though? Like, okay, so you move Alt to left tackle. And then suppose he does amazing there. We already have this big old contract for Slater, but we want to move forward with developing Alt at the right tackle. So do we keep him developing there, or do we, sacrifice a little bit of his experience at right tackle now and then start working on him at left tackle so that way he just kind of flip-flops and he can become a swing tackle as well at this point? I just don't know. I feel like Salyer is the better move, in my opinion, to go to left tackle, just because he's already has that experience, guys. He's already replaced Rashawn Slater there before. But that's just kind of my thoughts, though. So, all right. So obviously you guys have been very active in the chat. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit and I'm going to kind of find some of your guys' thoughts there, let's see. Okay, Timmy, the first one, I'll look at this one, is this just points out how pathetic Harbaugh and Ortiz were at doing after offensive linemen for center and left guard. They left us with a huge hole. That is going to cost us in the big time. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can see that. James is back in Phoenix right now. So, okay, that's why yes, sir. Yeah, like, it's funny. So he just left LA. I'm heading into LA tomorrow. So yeah, so we'll nonstop Bolt Bros. Yeah. So yeah, what's up, Pablo? I'll see you there. Maybe Sawyer and all the weight loss in the muscle is going to be a miracle. Yeah, maybe. Salyer, you mean Salyer? Yeah. Roland. Okay, so as a question, do we even have a chance of acquiring Micah Parsons now? I think the priority for Micah Parsons is now down on the bottom of the list. So left tackle or some kind of tackle position is the top priority for us right now. And I think that Parsons is definitely out of the conversation now for sure. New competition with Zion Johnson at right tackle. Ooh, Action Dan 65. I like the way you think. That is an interesting thought. That is an interesting thought. I did have a moment of thought that too, but we need him at more of the center kind of thing, guard center kind of situation. So Ambassador Light Studio says the Chargers can't replace Slater's talent, but with smarter protection calls, faster play design, and some depth insurance, Herbert can still have time to work with, especially the run game. Yeah, I can see that. You're right. There's and like I said, there is a possibility that they already are adjusting to that. So yeah. But AC does say, I agree. But this is why we're talking about it too. We can talk and we can flap our gums about it as much as we want. But yes, the team will figure it out. They will figure it out. Yeah. Zed, what's up, my man? How are you? The Slater news isn't really bad, or is really bad. Sorry, but I wanted to ask about Harris, the RB, who had an injury in the fourth. Any updates? So I don't think Harris. You mean Hampton? During the preseason game. Najee Harris, of course, he still has his eye issue, whatever the heck's going on there. I haven't heard have not heard any updates for Najee Harris's eye issue. Have not heard about Hampton. I think Hampton's doing okay with his thing. It's like that was just a concern thing. So yeah, they're like, well, let's just let him stick out, So yeah. Yeah. But Paul says, if Zion and Bozeman were starting the season, we were done anyway. But Slater seals it. This is a bad line again, and they should have addressed it in the offseason. Well, I can tend to agree that there is problems in the interior line. We didn't do too much to address it, but I do think that we have backups for it. Like I said, y'all need to not sleep on Jamari Salyer because he's a competitor, guys. He knows what he's doing. He has the experience at left tackle. I think that he could 100% step up and make big moves and make a big splash, all that stuff. So yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I checked this free agent list for O-line, and there's a decent amount there. We can find something. And that's the thing too. And that is the big question that I have in mind too, is like, so is there a possibility of us getting just a free agent out there? I think there is. I really do think there is. Yes. And when that happened, I guarantee when that happened, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone was freaking out the hell out for sure. Pipkin starts having it. Max Crosby excited. I'm not. Exactly, Carlos. That's why I do not want to see Pipkins on right tackle. He's been serviceable, but he's not been absolutely reliable. And, so it's just like, okay, we need to, I say we keep Alt at right tackle and move Salyer to left. That's it. Fresh Prince says, hell no, respectfully, but I don't know about what. So you guys, you let me know what exactly you're saying hell no about. So yes, yeah, let me, I'll probably pull up there. So put Jamari Salyer at left tackle, Zion Johnson left guard, center Bozeman, right guard, Becton, right tackle there. Okay, so that's what you're saying. You think that, or that's so you're agreeing with me at that, or keeping, but you just let me know, if that's for sure, So yeah, Pip will be okay if he's got Becton to help him out. I think Salyer will be better to move. Be better to move at right tackle. Interesting. That is an interesting thought too, because I think Salyer. I don't think he has much reps at right tackle, though. So that's the biggest concern that I have, is that he's just constantly bouncing up and down the line. And I would like to see him a little bit more consistent, more on the left side, if possible, So yeah. So, I think, Fresh Prince is agreeing with me, I believe. So yeah, don't break up Joe and Becton, please. Yes. And that's kind of my thoughts too. That is my thoughts. Pipkins is in a contract year right now. Yes, he is. And so, yeah, okay. All right, so that is a good point there, Pappy, because since Pipkins is playing a contract year, he may actually be able to step up to the plate and actually do a lot better, because that's kind of tends to be what happens there, So, so you never know. I mean, even if he ends up not playing for the Chargers, he can end up playing for some other team at a right tackle position, like improve his chops somewhere else, It's like you just keep his career going, obviously. So he's made quite a good bit of money, and he's actually, like I said, he's a serviceable right tackle, but he's just not been the best for us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, so that looks like I'm at the end of that one. That one there. So let's just kind of talk now about team strategy there, So like I said, the current plan is, alt. I got my notes here, by the way. Sorry. So alt at left tackle, and Pipkins at right, Salyer right guard, or no, Salyer's not going to right guard, whatever, but he'll be a swing role still, as it is. And then we move Becton, of course, around, keep him there. Hopefully he can coach up Pipkins a little bit, So I'm just like, okay, well, let's just think of that, So, and then, or the biggest thoughts are now long-term, like, yeah. So I don't know. So that's the current plan or whatever that, but we got to think long-term here, guys, because Slater, he's not going to be returning until 2026. That's pretty much a guarantee. It's possible that he could return during the playoffs if we get all the way down to that point, but I would not hold my breath to it at all. That would be interesting to see if that happens. If we get a playoff run from him, I don't know. But so that's what I said earlier, though. Putting alt at left tackle now would complicate the situation between Slater and alt, I think, So, obviously, Slater, worst case scenario here. Like, let's just go into that. The worst case scenario that Slater is done, and that Slater does end up, just not coming back. And so that could be an incredible thing there, So this would be absolute horrible worst case scenario. So that does make us be like, okay, we just spent tons of money. We have a massive dead cap from a player that we all thought we loved or whatever. That that's worst case scenario. So that does mean that alt should then go to left tackle. And if we are thinking worst case scenario, and if that's what the Chargers are thinking, I believe that they would put Joe Alt at left tackle. I think that's it. However, if they're being more optimistic about it, they would keep Joe Alt at right tackle, move Salyer at left tackle, and then keep that consistency going. And that would actually be a signal to me in my mind that Slater will be set to return in 2026 at least. So that could be that's my long-term kind of thoughts right now, So you guys let me know about that, So and thank you, Grandizer, for all these different trade scenarios, man. This is crazy. I don't know how you spit those things off so fast. That's awesome. So yeah. So and then the biggest thought too is like, so here's the other thought too, is that Trey Pipkins could also end up going to left tackle. Here, I didn't mention this one too, because he does have some snaps at left tackle, 346 to be exact. And so I don't know how good he was in that position though, but I would kind of dare to say that it probably was not near as good as Slater and Salyer was at left tackle when they were there, So so that's just a big question there, So you guys let me know about what your guys' strategy is. Like what kind of trade scenarios? Let me get into these trade scenarios with you guys here. So let me just see. Grandizer says you didn't ask what some trade scenarios. What it might be like for Micah Parsons. Oh, well, okay. I don't really care. Okay. Well, we're not talking about Micah Parsons tonight though. I do admit that somebody brought it up about the Micah Parsons thing, and to be honest, at this point, I think all conversations with the Chargers and Micah Parsons are going to be put screech to a halt, because we have to worry about left tackle, offensive line stuff right now. So I think that's That's where my mindset's at. I don't know how the Chargers are at, but like I appreciate all this work that you've done here, but I don't think that I don't think that the focus should be about Micah Parsons at all right now. Not for this year. Like we can't think about that any more than we already have now. So, but Ambassador says Chargers aren't just facing bad luck; they're pushing hard in camp under Jim Harbaugh. And while that builds toughness, it also risks injuries early. Balancing intensity with preservation is key. Yeah, I can understand that, and I think that's a very valid point about why I do think that not playing players during the preseason is obviously the better choice and stuff like that, So that's kind of my thoughts. So, let me just take a moment to pause for a second here and just say, like, hey guys, if we've got 50 people in the chat here tonight, so like if this is your first time and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video if you do enjoy the content and what we're doing here at the Bolt Bros, because all of us bros, we do a little bit different. We add a little flavor to the show, to the channel. My brothers, like, they like to kind of get on top of news, like as it happens during the day. Make and shoot quick little videos for everybody, and then I'll do these lives at night every once in a while. Mostly on Thursdays. I think I am going to move back to Wednesdays to start doing these. So that way, and I might end up switching up for Thursday nights to do some, watch parties and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm debating on that because I do think that I really want to focus on Chargers content on all that stuff, because I look, as much as I like watching football, I do appreciate watching the teams that I like more than anything. So like, I definitely want to watch some, Chargers football and do some watch parties with that on Twitch exclusively, because YouTube is director's time. YouTube is director's time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I appreciate you guys for joining the chat right now. So so Eddie Lawrence says, yeah, we curse, bro. Hey, it's very possible. I have some thoughts on that, and I've been working on a little thing in the back of my head and in the back burner about doing a whole thing about that. So we'll see. What the hell happened to Slater? Yeah, bull lightning. So he got injured at camp. Just to recap real quick. It was a silly play, like just a normal like run of the mill play. He was just getting pushed backpedaled a little bit, maybe stepped wrong a little bit, and then popped his patellar tendon. Not popped it, but tore it, whatever like that. So yeah. Yeah. Anthony says it right. The ghost of JC Jackson is still on the team, right? Bad news for Chargers. There goes she said, I wouldn't say it's done yet. It ain't done yet. Yeah. So Zed says, I watched earlier and broke down potential scenarios. Missed the entire season with the ruptured patella. Yeah, we'll see that. I'll take a look. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one. Yeah, and thank you, Miguel, for that. Yeah, I was checking on a stream and they were talking about it and posted scenarios. That's awesome. That's a good. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. I'd pick up the best free agent offensive line and put Alt at left tackle. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That is definitely not a bad idea. I do think that is a sound plan because at the end of the day, we do need some veterancy behind our team. So like especially at the offensive line, because we have some inconsistencies there. Like I do understand that we do have a bit of a problem here at offensive line now. We like even from last season. And I do think that picking up a free agent on the offensive line is going to be a good idea. So, and let me pull up. Let me do that real quick. So I'm going to do that free agents offensive line. I'm gonna just look at it. Look at some of these right now. Yeah. Okay. So top 100. This is from June. I'm not sure if this is from June of last year, or from this year. Sorry. Let's see. Quarterback, interior O-line, defensive. Oh, there's one here in tackle, one here in offensive. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Juwan Johnson. That's a wideout. Offensive. Okay, so Ronnie Stanley. I don't know if he's still available. Oh, he re-signed with the Ravens. Okay, so that's a bummer. And okay, Cam Robinson went to the Texans. Signed a free agent with the Jaguars. Patrick McCarry there. Dan Moore signed a 4-year with the Steelers. Tyron Smith, 1-day contract for the Cowboys to retire. So maybe we could pull him out of retirement. That'd be terrible. Taking 3 picks. Jedrick Willis. It never quite settled in at left tackle. The Browns eventually bumped top 10 pick. Okay, so this could be the guy. Jedrick Willis could be the guy if we want to go out to get somebody. I think right now, because he was picked up by the Browns as a top 10 pick from the 2020 draft. Switched to his collegiate position. The right side could be coming. Interesting. If he's still available, we should definitely try to pick him up. That could be interesting. I thought. But then we got some people on the interior. Dahlman, he signed. Will Freeze signed. Trevin Jenkins signed with the Browns. Josh Myers took a 1-year deal with the Jets. Kevin Zeitler, 1-year deal with the Titans. We got Becton, of course. James Daniels with the Dolphins. Ryan Kelly he's with the Vikings. Brandon Scherf. Okay, so now that could be the option too. We pick up Scherf. And a lot of people are talking about that, I think, in the chat before. So that's it right there. I think those are the only options I think in my head. We go for Scherf, or we go for that left tackle that I mentioned, Jedrick Willis, unless he's been picked up. So I'll have to double check on that. And what do you guys think on that in the chat? No, it's okay. It's okay, Grandazzer. Don't worry about it. I know that every talk is on the table. Yeah, with you. Yeah, and of course, yes, every topic's on the table for me, my guy. Hey, 100%. What's up? I remember LT left tackle never played a snap in preseason. Yeah, so that's for sure. They always kept him off. That's crazy, right? Yeah, he is not in a good place for sure right now. We chatted a little bit. Yeah, so for sure. I love your hey, what's up, AC? I love your live chats because you do your best to try to read everyone's comments. Great job, bro. Yeah, man, don't worry about it. Yeah, I do the best I can. Because I want to make this a discussion as best I can, because it's fun to do to chat about things and stuff like that, So, but yeah, like I said, I do think that by the way, I think when the season actually starts, I am going to shift to Wednesdays, as to not distract from the possibilities of Thursdays. Thursday night games. And I think that's more thing. However, if there is a Thursday night Chargers game, I'm going to stream that exclusively on Twitch, and we're going to have, I'm going to do the best I can. The problem is, like, during the week, I do get off work at late times and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll be late to the party in a little bit, so yeah. So pour out some drinks, my guys, for Slater though. Yeah, by the way. So yeah. But I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon in a little bit. Let me just kind of wrap up here. So, Lord Chronicle says Broncos fans are secretly happy about Rashawn Slater going down for the. Hey, you know what? Every other team should be, fans are technically going to be happy about, our star left tackle that we just signed, going down, So, like, I mean, that only makes us weaker. We are said to be a formidable team this year, like with hopes of deep playoff runs. And, but apparently that's kind of up in the air now a little bit, So yeah. Is there a dude named Ulrich Jackson available that's a Rams free agent? It might be. I didn't see that on this list. This was a list from NFL.com. So, and I don't know exactly how accurate that is. So just keep that in mind. So yeah. See, I feel like there was a death in the family. Can't believe that about Slater. We always lose linemen in preseason. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cheers, Miguel, my man. Yeah. Do you know that the offensive scheme that the Chargers use for the offensive line, can the Chargers work out a few players to come out and play, or is it a specialty type? Yeah. Look, I mean, I don't know too much about the offensive line, how they play, but I do understand the concept is usually pretty simple. Protect the quarterback, open holes for the running backs. That's about it. That's the most simple idea behind what what an offensive lineman does. You know what I'm saying? So I can't see much of that going around, but like you could probably find somebody in there and then make it happen, so I think that could work out, so yeah. I feel it, Bolani. You say you can't lose an all-pro left tackle and think everything is okay. Well, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, like I do believe in Harbaugh, I do believe in Ortiz, and I do believe in the rest of the team that we have. So I think that I am, thinking. I'm just being hopeful. Let's just say that I'm just being hopeful, but I don't think that it's not the end. The sky is not falling yet because the season hasn't even started yet, and I can't be all terrible about it at all. Yeah. So let's see. I would love to see the stipulations behind Slater's $90 million guaranteed contract if it covers injury. If it does, he's just got a free Joey, always injured, Bosa LA vacation for a year. Yeah, that's very possible. I do always wonder about that too. Those injury clauses in contracts and stuff like that. So yeah. Only if the Browns O-line is a good scheme fit. It's possible. Yeah. The Kevin Zeitler would be so good, but he's a guard. And again, who does move to the left tackle? Are you going to stream the Saints game? Lighthouse Keeper. No, I'm actually going to be at the Saints game. And so I'm actually flying out there. And I'm excited. So if you're going to be out there at Thunder Alley, or if you're going to be hanging out, be sure to say what's up, because I'll be walking around. I do believe I'm going to set up, sit down with Lightning Strikes podcast and, chat with them a little bit before the game, and then we'll have a good time and stuff like that, So if that works out, then yeah, man, we're checking it out. So like I said, but I'm worried about it because it does take me a long time to get through Thunder Alley. So I may have to kind of sneak around a little bit and just make a beeline to them to sit down and chat with them for a little bit. So yeah. Kyle says it's going to be super interesting to see what the Chargers put a claim in after the first week's cuts. Everyone always seems to need O-line help. That's for sure. On weekends, I get off from work. Kyle almost needed a pause. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know how I do, Grandizer. You know how I do. I don't think it is available. Yeah, so okay. I might be a little bit behind on you guys. I'm not sure. See, yeah, that's right, Anthony. And Harbaugh we trust. If anyone can bring it, it's Jim and Joe behind the scenes. That's for sure, man. I do really look. At the end of the day, look, guys. Remember, like, you can't say that Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh did not cook. Look, they signed away. They let Keenan Allen walk. We got a comp pick from that. We traded our pick with New Orleans. Traded him off to the Bears, that is. Then we traded that pick to New Orleans, New Orleans, to New England. And then we got Ladd McConkey. And then eventually we got Keenan Allen back eventually after like a year. So that's some cooking right there. That's some freaking amazing, wait, actually, I got a thing for that.
I'm gonna come.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Yes, that was that too. Yeah, that bolted me up real good. That's for sure. Oh, good. Anyways, Roland, thank you, my man. Yeah, Bo Bros, you're gonna play some pickleball now. Hey, you have a good time, Roland, for sure. That's what's up. Anyways, so that totally distracted me from what I said. That's funny. I meant to do this button right here. Yeah, see, he's got the wok going. He's cooking. Yeah, baby. Yep. That's Chef Ortiz up in the back right now, so yeah. that was an Ayo moment for sure. Carlos, my bad. It's funny enough, actually, I use that button with my buddies a lot when I'm playing games with them and stuff because You know, like I might be in the back, whatever, and I'm trying to catch up to them and stuff like that, you know, and you know, like, and then someone like, or someone's behind, and like they're saying that they're gonna catch up to us, and they say, you know, but they'll say, "Oh, I'm coming, and then that's it, you know, they pull that one out, you know, so. Granddad's, yeah, I gotta label these buttons better, you know. Like, sometimes I just get finger happy. Yeah, you know, there you go, another one, man. Okay, now we know the show's going off the rails right there, so guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, Pappy. Okay, good. Yes, sir. You know, be there. The party at the tailgate is still on. Heck yes, that's for sure. So yeah. Anyways, one player. Anthony does. Okay, let's go back to the topic though. Yeah. So yeah. One player doesn't make or break a team. It's a huge hit, yes, but we will find out what kind of men we will have on the team. This team is a bunch of winners, that's for sure. You know, we're all competitors, guys. Like they're all wanting to compete. They're all wanting to play. They all want that championship. They all want that ring. They all want to get in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. You know, so like, and they all want to make money, of course. You know, so yeah. But at the end of the day, guys, look. We have possibilities. Like the sky's not falling just yet. And I do think that we have options of moving Alt to left tackle. We have options of shifting Salyer up to left tackle. We have options of even moving Pipkins to left tackle. And so and we also have options out there for free agency picks. So we're going to keep an eye on all this stuff, and we'll let you guys know about what happens. You know, in the coming weeks, because there's a lot going on here, guys. There's a lot of moving parts, and I do think that we can't just panic just yet. You know, yes, this is a massive blow, but we've been here before too. Let's not forget about that. You know, Slater has been injured before in the 2022 season. We did step up. We did have amazing players behind him. It's not over just yet. Season hasn't even started yet. We can't think that, you know, the season's done yet. You know, hey, I do admit this is a massive blow. We're spending a lot of money on him to ride the couch now, but that's okay. He's going to come back in 2026. I believe it until otherwise, proven otherwise. So, let's see. The property labor that one. So yeah. Do you mean to go into the Tennessee game? And then Eddie's like, yeah. So the big question is like, is the Chargers cursed, man? So look, like I said, I do have some things that I'm working on in the background that it's possible that this could happen. That I could release that maybe in the coming future. But I've been doing some in-depth research on all this stuff, and it's very possible that there is something to this idea. I don't want to say it now because I don't want to manifest. I don't believe in it. I'm not, but I will say, because I'm not superstitious, I'm just a little stitious. You know what I'm saying? Like over the years, it has been something. There's always some credibility to this potentially, but I just think every year is different. And we all got to take a step back and realize that these players, they get hurt. Things happen. It's not great, you know, when it does, but we have to find a way to move forward and stay positive, because as fans, you know, at the end of the day, we still want to watch Chargers football. And just because one player goes down, we still got 52 other players on the team, a couple backups for every position. And right now, like obviously, at least it happened now during the preseason when we can ramp up and figure out, you know, a solution for this problem before it gets too bad and we actually start losing, the season starts running away from us. So let's keep our head up and let's keep moving forward. And you know, we can throw some prayers up for the Slater and his family, and you know, for a quick recovery. And we can also hope for and pray that whoever steps up makes a big impression and actually does well for it, you know. So what injury is it? And just to recap for you as well, he suffered a patellar tendon injury, which was, you know, just happened at practice. He backpedaled a little bit too much or whatever, and it kind of caught him off guard, and it, you know, popped it, whatever like that, you know. So it's definitely season-ending injury more than likely because it could go up to 6 months or more. So that's it. Yeah. And it says, okay, what the worst possible injury an NFL player can get besides a spinal cord injury is a ruptured patellar tendon. Oof. Okay, thank you, Christopher. I didn't know that was a good clarity on that one. I did not know that it was that serious of an injury. So that is an interesting thought, and we'll have to just dig deeper into that one probably tomorrow as more story develops. But I just wanted to kind of get on this with you for a little bit and chat about it, So that is an interesting thought here, though. I did not know that was how serious it was. I thought Achilles tendon was pretty bad, or some kind of shoulder injury for the players or for quarterbacks and stuff like that. So, but man. Whoo! I hope it is not that. I really do hope it is not that bad. So, but we will see. We will see for sure. So, but like I said, guys, to recap one more thing that I had, my biggest thoughts are that if Joel does move to left tackle, then that tells me in my head that this is a much more serious problem than we realize, and it will be a potential that they are thinking about the future of the team. And they want to move Joe Alt to left tackle and develop him there because it's very possible that Slater might not come back. However, if they move Jamari Salyer to left to left tackle, then we may end up seeing Jamari Salyer at 2026. Again, I'm hopeful that we will see him in 2026. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now until we see otherwise, until it's confirmed otherwise that we are not going to see that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the coming future. But guys, let me just kind of wrap up with you guys' thoughts here. We can take all those frustrations out of Brandon Staley this Sunday. Yes, 100%. That'll be good. On Brandon Staley and his defense, let's pick them apart. That'll be amazing. And this will be also poetic as well, guys, because Jim Harbaugh did play against Brandon Staley and his team while he was coaching at San Diego State, I believe it was, right? Or is it? That was a huge, and there was a big old comeback game that Jim Harbaugh, won out on that one. So that's a wild right there, So yeah, Christopher does say that he will never be the same. His best days are 100% gone. Eesh. Yeah, it could very well be. I hope not. I hope not. So we'll see. Anthony says, I say for the next 10 years, we just keep drafting the first round O-line. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Tate Jackson says, it's clear now that we have to start developing young left guard talent is all, and hope Slater can get back to his form. If not, we have tons of money next year, the cap space to lure in some free agents. That's for sure. Lighthouse, pouring out for me, my man. That'd be good. And, chugging cheers like Bacardi, 100%. Brian Stowe says 100%. Yep. Lighthouse. And we have to re-sign Derwin next year. That's for sure. Anyway, guys, so that's all for the show tonight, though. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Like I said, and while I'm thinking about it now, 100%, I'm gonna try to stream the Chargers games on Twitch specifically. And, I'll have my reactions down there, like in the box, or, I'll be on the side or whatever, something like that. I'll figure it out. And for the Twitch games, for the Chargers games, because I want to watch, because I lived out here in Utah, I want to watch the games with some homies like you guys, and that'll be good. But let's we got one more question here from Grandizer, then we're going to wrap up. How worried are you about this scale of 1 to 10? Hit the panic button 10, from, 10 being hit the panic button, or 1, we will be good and not worried. So, or you're saying 1, hit the panic button, 10, we will be good, I'm not worried. I would say about an 8. Look, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I've already had some issues about the offensive interior line or whatever that, but now having left tackle issue, that does make the dynamic a little bit more difficult. And because obviously, at the end of the day, last year, Slater and Joel were the shining stars of the offensive line. And now we lost one of them. That is a big problem. However, I'm happy that we I wouldn't say I'm happy, but it's better that it happened right now than it happens later in the season. Let's just say that. So, and Lighthouse, my Twitch will be, it's still just the same thing as here, Bolt Bros Podcast. Yeah, we're growing a little bit of following there. I'm going to just, like I said, I'm going to have the game up. I'm going to have me up in the corner. It'll be kind of like our own version of Madden Cast or something like that, and we'll have a good time, So, and to be honest, like it's going to be more of an experiment. If it happens that, it gets pulled down, then the experiment's over, So like, we'll see, but we'll see, guys. So, all right, guys. But as always, guys, thank you guys for joining the show. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video, and we will see you guys the next time. Okay, thank you. And we just got another follower on Streamlabs or on Twitch there. Thank you for following right there. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, Bolt Bros, let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros Podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.